Candace, welcome back from our short little holiday break.
Welcome back to you.
Are you excited for our 6th season?
Oh, yes, I am.
Can you believe we've been doing this for 6 years?
No. I mean, I can, and some of it seems a little bit like we've been doing it longer.
Right.
But then other parts of it was like, how are we here at season 6?
Right. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here is what I'm going to ask you for our cold open question of the day.
Okay.
What is your favorite Disney thing that happened since we took our break? So from early December to mid-January, what's been your favorite Disney thing?
That's a hard question. Do you mean like in the Disney universe? Do you mean here at home?
Wherever. It's broad for a purpose.
Okay. I think probably my favorite thing, and this is going to sound really silly, but my favorite thing that I think has happened is that I made Chef Mickey's breakfast pizza on Christmas morning
for
breakfast.
Mm-hmm. It was delicious.
I think I nailed that recipe the best I've ever done it.
Yes. I would agree. It was delicious.
And I was excited.
I ate more of it than I should. I was stuffed.
That's okay.
Stuffed.
It's not Disney food if you're not, right?
That's true. It did make it feel more like Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually wearing my favorite Disney thing from break.
Okay.
So for Christmas, Candace got me a hoodie that has the words to Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow printed on it all over it, and it looks like, from a distance, it looks like stripes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get closer, it's the entire lyrics to It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, and I absolutely adore it.
I knew you'd like that.
Right now, it's my favorite Disney hoodie, and I have a couple of really cool Disney hoodies. So this one is currently my number one most popular hoodie in my collection.
Your hoodie of choice, as it were.
Yes, my hoodie of choice, as it were.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we had a very Disney break.
We did.
As we went through. It's always just a touch Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you didn't say that I put all your Disney ornaments on the tree in the bar as one of your... I guess I did ask for your favorite
mm-hmm.
Disney thing, not my favorite thing that I did for you.
Not your interpretation of what my favorite thing would be.
Right. The last couple of years, we've gotten a smaller tree in our main living room. So I've been collecting Frosty Friends ornaments since my grandma bought me my first one in 1981. And so that's really all that fits on our upstairs tree now. So we made the decision to make that a Frosty Friends tree last year with a few other little things here and there, just personal to us and that kind of thing. But that means all of Candace's Mickey and Disney ornaments didn't really have a home. But this year, we have a little mini tree in our bar, and instead of just putting the bubble lights on it as the ornaments, I put all of her Mickey ornaments on that in our bar, which I thought was really cool and a neat way to display those.
Mm-hmm. I also utilized my Disney Christmas Loungefly that I got in the parks last year as my everyday purse.
Yes.
For the season.
Yep.
I need to swap that out now, but it was nice because when I unpacked it, I found our ornaments that we got from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party last year, and we were able to add one of those to each of our trees as well.
Yeah, that was really cool. Okay, so in our season 6, episode 1, we are going to jump into just basically a reset for the podcast. We're going to talk to you all about kind of what we're going to do this year, kind of how we're thinking about the podcast as we've done this for a little bit now. We have no major changes coming, I don't think, but we're just going to put some more focus in some places and that kind of thing that I think are going to make for exciting changes. So we're going to talk all about that in our first episode of the season. So stay with us after our fantastic theme music that's about to launch. And grab a drink and just come hang out with us.
And welcome back.
Hey, welcome to Hanging at the Hangar Bar. I'm Scott.
And I'm Candace. We're here to chat all things Disney as child-free Disney adults. Stories, snacks, and a little magic along the way.
Grab a drink and get comfy and come hang out with us. Okay, again, welcome back to the podcast, Candace. Super happy to have you here.
Welcome back to you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
glad for season 6
Yeah.
of this adventure.
Yeah. So before we jump into kind of how we're approaching season 6, let's talk a little bit about what our favorite parts of the podcast over the last 5 years have been.
Okay.
What would you say are some of your, let me rephrase that. What's your why are we doing this from the last 5 years?
So I think that has actually evolved over the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think we started it with a reason to get together to talk about Disney and sort of vicariously put ourselves there without actually getting to be there.
Right.
Now, looking back over it and kind of where I see us headed is kind of settling into that whole Disney adults with no kids vibe and being pretty unapologetic about it, if
Yep.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Like
we know who our audience is.
We do, and we appreciate you and we love you.
Yes.
But, I mean, there's a large population of Disney adults
Yes.
that don't have kids. And I think if we can, like, this is a good landing spot for them.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Because it comes from our perspective, and there's no, like, well, without your kids, this is how you should do it. No, it's just that's how we roll.
Right. This is our Disney.
Right.
And again, we're not apologetic about it being our Disney.
No. Because our experience is different than somebody that has kids.
Right.
So I hope that people get some use and some functionality out of this maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, I would like to see our community grow a little bit as well.
Yeah.
With more interaction on social and that kind of thing. Maybe even a meet and greet or something like that.
Yeah.
Just depending.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think we'll get into some of that as we think about 2026 and what's to come as we go through this year. I think for me, it's very much the same. What I've loved about this podcast is the conversations that we've had, whether it's just with Lacey and Lariah in the early days, with some of the special guests that we've had with just each other. Just the conversations that we've been able to have are things that I don't think we would have had were we not doing the podcast.
Right.
And I want us to lean into that a little bit, even for those conversations that are just you and I. Like leaning into, would we have had this conversation if we weren't putting it out into the universe?
Right. Right. And adding on to that, I really think that we need to find a way to legally trademark some of the things that we're saying.
Right.
So if any legal professionals are listening and can help us out with that, please hit us up.
Right. How do we trademark an idea?
Right.
And then prove that somebody got it from us.
Yeah. Because stuff's happening in the universe right now.
Right.
That we talked about
Couple
ages
seasons ago. Yeah.
And it's now coming from Imagineering.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. For example, we talked about in building we don't know, what's the movie? Encanto attraction. That's the casita. And you go in and depending on the ride vehicle you get is how you experience the casita.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are they doing as they're opening up basically an Encanto land, a Middle America,
Central America.
Central America theme park. I still have trouble with English, folks. I haven't lost that in the last month. But
Drink more.
What are they doing? They're adding a water, like a slow-moving river attraction ride through one of the rooms of the casita.
It's Antonio's room.
It's
so it's
Antonio's
the
room.
rainforest jungle animal room.
Now, they didn't take our whole idea of...
They took enough.
Depending on the ride or the vehicle that you get into, you go down a different path.
They took enough.
Right. But definitely the casita and turning that into an attraction. Heck, I would even say we were talking about Rock and Roller Coaster becoming Muppet Mayhem well before they announced that, too.
I agree.
So again, if you are a lawyer that specializes in thought police, let us know.
And folks at Disney, if you are listening, we will be happy with one of the homes in Golden Oak. That's all we need.
Heck, just...
I will settle for that.
Right. I don't, not even that. Like, I just want acknowledgement at this point.
Would you stop? What are you doing? Okay, acknowledgement and then royalties
Right.
for part of theme park admission
Right.
from now until the end of time.
For perpetuity.
Yes.
Yes.
TM.
So I don't think that can be TM'd, but oh well. So yeah, I think we're going to lean into both of those things this year that we just talked about a little bit. So
Sorry, I kind of derailed us.
no, it's
Welcome
fine.
back to the podcast.
Welcome back. This is what we do. So let's talk a little bit about what feels different as we head into 2026. Like, as you think about our podcast and where you think we're going, what do you think feels different for us as we jump into this year?
I think with us leaning into being unapologetic Disney adults, I don't feel the need to chase everybody else's quote unquote influence.
Right.
Like, we're going to do it the way we do it. And if that doesn't line up with what somebody else is doing, I don't care.
Yep.
We're still going to hold fast unless there's something real big and exciting that comes along. We are not going to transform into a news podcast.
Nope.
We are going to have open, honest conversations about Disney, things that interest us, probably some spicy opinions about things, because we always have those, and just kind of dig into like our space in the Disney universe. And I definitely think there is a space for us
Yep.
in the Disney universe.
Yeah, I would agree. We will not be a news podcast unless that comes with snarky opinions.
100%.
Like, we are not a reporting agency. We're not journalists.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, this is not a job for us.
No, it's fun.
We don't think it's going to become a job for us.
Mm-mm.
We have no delusions of being on the Disney list of people that get into things. The media list, I think, is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not us. Like, we're not close enough for that to happen anyway. But we have no delusions of that. So what do we...
However, if you would like to support us, we do have our Patreon, and I would like to see us expand that a little bit more this year.
Yeah.
With some options for different support levels and that kind of thing. But more, we'll get into that. That's an ever-evolving thing.
Yeah, agreed. And that's one of the things that I was going to call out this year that feels a little bit different is I feel like I'm now at a spot where we need to put some structure around not the podcast itself, but how we promote and advertise and put the word out there.
I agree.
For me, I'm feeling less like I have to have an episode release every Monday. I want to put quality out over quantity. And if we get to a spot where I don't feel like the quality or we don't have a good idea, I would rather not release and just be active on social media or do some reels or something like that may capture some attention. That's what feels different to me this year is I just want to approach it a little differently and really focus on that quantity. Now, with quality, yeah, focus on the quality. With that said, we have episodes planned for every week through April. Because I added one because we have our March Madness that's going to release April 6th.
Yeah.
So more to come on that one on social media too. That one's going to be a fun one. So watch for the social media on that because we're going to need your interaction. But yeah, I just want us to really focus on that quality, and that's what feels different to me this year is really that if it's not fun, if it's not something we're passionate about, I don't want to do it.
100%. And I think we've said that in the past, but I think living into that, like how we're actually feeling about it and not coming from a place of obligation to push content out.
Right.
Because we're not content creators. We're just talking about Disney.
Right.
And it's our Disney and our experience with the brand.
Right.
Now, with that said, I think it's important for our listeners to understand that we are going to keep some of our traditional episodes. And when I say that, we're still going to do reviews of festival menus and talk through those. We're still going to offer trip planning tips and that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's not completely changing, but it's not going to be completely the same either. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about this experience is that we've had over the past 6 years. It's never the same year twice.
Right.
And we are growing and developing as this evolves.
Right.
And I love that. We're not stale.
Yeah, the podcast is changing with us as we change as people.
Yes. It's getting older.
It is. Its knees hurt for no obvious reason.
You sneeze and you paralyze yourself.
You sneeze and fart and you don't know what happened. We're laughing because we joked about that last night. I may have to cut that out of the podcast, but it's
dear.
funny. A snart. This is what I love about this podcast, folks. Completely goes off the rails.
Buckle up. It's fine. Pull on the yellow strap. And when that's good, you're good.
Squirrel moment. Have you seen those keychains that they have for sale?
I have. The yellow straps?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can buy a yellow strap
Yes,
that you
you
carry
can.
around with you everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of
I kind of want one.
I have too many Disney things on my keychain already, but I could put that on my church keys.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's what feels a little different this year. The other thing that feels a little different for me this year is I really want to lean into this not feeling like a job for either one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we do this for fun.
We do.
If we're not having fun, again, quick episode, a reel, something like that to release, something short form is better than us just sitting down and not enjoying being in the moment.
Right. And I think thinking back over last year, I guess, and listening to the episodes, you can definitely tell when we are truly engaged in the content that we are talking about versus when it is obligation.
Right. When we have to record something in 45 minutes so I can edit that afternoon to release the following day.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that is time management and calendar management and that kind of thing. And I know that I have made a conscious effort over our holiday break so that people don't forget about us to be active on social media. And I know that we have had a good number of interactions based on that with other people. So I want to keep that up as well.
Yep. And Candace is really good at that social media stuff. So most of the time, if you're interacting on Hanging at the Hanger Bar's Facebook or Instagram, it's with Candace. And the things that you see from me are episode releases, that kind of thing. Or if I'm in the parks alone doing stories, I love doing that. But that doesn't happen all that often.
But we probably should say that at this point, and you may be coming up on this, so maybe I should wait.
No, go for it.
Okay. At this given moment, early January of 2026, we do not have any plans to visit Disney World this year.
We do
or
not.
Disneyland.
We do not.
No Disney in America shall be visited by Hanging at the Hanger Bar this year.
Yes.
There's a hint in there, but we'll talk about it later, especially when it gets booked.
Yes. Once it gets booked. And we should say as of now.
As of now.
There has been some talk about a food and wine festival trip.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to see how the finances are doing before we do that.
Finances and time, and there's some other things that
will take priority.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here's pivoting just a little bit. As we think about what we've talked about in the last 5 years and how we've approached the podcast and approached Disney before this season, what are some Disney habits that we think we've outgrown? I've got a couple in my head.
The first one for me would be the dining plan.
Okay.
Because I remember when we started this whole thing that was our ride or die, that we're never going without it again.
Yep.
And I think when they brought it back after the pandemic, we realized that thankfully we don't eat like that anymore.
Right.
And it does not present the value to us the same way that preloading a gift card or just paying straight out of pocket does for us anymore.
Yep. We appreciate the flexibility more of not having the dining plan.
Yes.
Like the more we've learned, the more we've done. The dining plan actually takes flexibility away.
It does. It does. And it makes it so that you are constantly eating.
Right.
Constantly. If you're going to use all your credits and all that, constant eating.
Truly living into the Jim Gaffigan bit of we just ate. We should probably go get something to eat.
Yes. Let's go look at that thing, and then we should probably get a snack.
Right. Let's go on that attraction. Then we should probably find something to eat.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Gaffigan. We love you.
That is one of the best comedy bits of all time. If you haven't seen that, maybe you can share that one if you remember after this episode releases. Maybe you can share that on one of our socials.
Yep.
I think for me, one of the things that I've outgrown from a Disney perspective is the influencers on YouTube. I do not follow them like I used to.
Well, and even when we do, like the past couple of times we've queued it up to see what's available to watch, we're both like, I do not have the energy for this because it's just so much and it's so in your face and kind of annoying and all the same thing and all the time. Like every channel does the same thing, and it's fine and it's helpful, but I just think we're beyond that.
Yeah, and some of it is because, again, they're not doing trips like we do trips. I think you know what I think YouTube is missing? And I can't believe I'm going to say this. YouTube is missing Michael K before Michael K moved to Orlando.
The honest opinion of somebody that's not there all the time.
Right. That they're looking forward to and planning trips and doing all of the things that are, it's an 8 hour day just to get there. 8 to 10 hour day just to get to Florida versus I have to go make content because I live here and this is my income. Like, that's what I think the Disney influencer sphere is really missing, and why I'm pulling away from it is it doesn't get close to representing. During the pandemic, it was great because we could sit there and we could watch people when we couldn't. We could go back and we could watch and sort of dream of being in a place we knew we couldn't go. But now that we can go more frequently again, and I think that's what I think is missing is just that somebody from Nebraska or from Wyoming or wherever that's like, I get to go once a year. If that, and my content is going to be built around, I'm going to take a 2-week trip to Disney, and that content is going to get me through an entire year of YouTubing. I think that is really what might be missing, and why I'm pulling away is just what they present is not a realistic view of what Disney is. And I think, honestly, to the detriment of people going to Disney, because too many people expect it to be exactly what they see the influencers do, and when it's not, they're disappointed.
That, and I think it creates a lot of FOMO.
Right.
Where it's very different if you only have a set amount of time where you're going to be there.
Right.
Versus I can go every day whenever I want and do all the things that I want. And if I can't do something one day, I can come back in 2 days and do what I need to do.
Right.
Whereas, especially like this time of year, that's not always the case.
Right.
Like, I think I told you that I saw a wait time for Tower of Terror yesterday for 200 minutes.
Yeah.
No chance. I mean, I love that
8:30.
attraction. Yeah. I love that attraction, but no, not ever. No. Not in a million years.
No.
Not even on his last day.
Right.
Would I ever.
Yes. Yeah, and I think the other thing that is missing oftentimes from that influencer sphere is just the true educational.
Yeah.
The room tours, and there's so many of those out there that, like, they probably don't perform well, and everybody's chasing the algorithm and all of that kind of stuff. Those probably don't perform as well. But those are the things that I think we've outgrown. The other thing that I would call out that I think I've outgrown from a going to Disney perspective is, I think I've always gone into it with this need to do as much as possible. As I get older, I am leaning heavily into what are the things I want to do. What are the things I want to take advantage of? How do I immerse myself in the magic more versus how do I do all the things to find the magic? That's something that I think you've been there longer than I have.
Yes, I have.
But that's kind of where I'm at from a something I've outgrown, is that need to try and do as much as possible.
Right. And I think, and one thing that I appreciated especially about our most recent trip when we did the cruise and the whole thing is that we looked for those new experiences and not so much the new attractions and the new, let's go stand in line for all these things, but let's do the things that are new to us. And we've done that the past few trips, but I noticed it more in this most recent trip that we are very much, if we want to do it, fine. But if we don't, that's fine too.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
Yep.
And I love that because, again, that's our Disney.
Yep. Agreed. 100%. Okay. Anything else that you feel like you've outgrown?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually.
One more, and then we'll move to the next question I have.
Okay. I have outgrown the need for the merch.
Okay.
Now, that's not to say that I don't love me a good Disney coffee mug, because that's one thing that I do collect.
Right.
But as far as all the shirts and the bags and the hats and the ears and the trinkets and all the stuff, I don't need it.
Right.
I don't even want it.
Right as I get into collecting pins.
That's your journey, not mine. But again, when we were looking at pins for you on this last trip, we looked at pins that actually meant something to you.
Right.
And not just, oh, it's a pin to get a pin because I have to have a pin.
Right.
It meant something.
Yeah.
And whether you ever trade them or not, that's your business. And I will probably chastise you heavily if you get rid of some of them that you have. But again, it's the meaningless, crap is not something I want to deal with anymore.
Right. Yeah. And like you mentioned, pin trading, that's nothing I think I'm ever going to grow into.
No.
Because I think I'm going to get pins that remind me of something, are special to me. And there's so many nefarious people out there. If you trade pins, the likelihood is that you're going to get something that's fake.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I'm not collecting these for their value. I'm that kind of thing. But I also don't want some cheap knockoff from Taiwan that says Dinzy on the back of it that I just thought was cute in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fall prey to that, and I wouldn't know what to look for. So that I don't think I will ever get into a spot where I'm like a professional pin trader. Now, if I get a duplicate, like if somebody gives me a gift and I have a duplicate, I might go look at a pin board and see if there's one that I like better. But every pin that I have right now is not anything that I would trade.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to be the kind of person that just buys the mystery box to see what I get.
No.
Like that to me is a waste of money.
Plus, for me, that is a really, really people-y activity.
Right.
And I don't want to get that close to people.
That's too funny. Okay, so Candace, I'm going to ask in thinking podcast, thinking Disney as a whole, what still brings us joy from Disney?
One of the things that brings me joy with Disney is seeing sort of the evolution of how things are growing and changing. And with some of the conversations that we have had the privilege to have with this show and with some of the friends that we've made through this show, kind of knowing the backstory and kind of where it all came from and being able to go see those things and say, okay, I know the story of that particular beam or that particular thing that there is to look at. I know the story behind that, and so it means more to me. I like feeling like I'm actually part of the magic and not just a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep, 100%. I think that's a good one. And from a podcast perspective, 100%, what still brings me joy about this, and I mentioned it earlier, is the conversations that we have. Mm-hmm. Like being able to invite our friends in, like our long-term friends. Again, this is a hint about something that's going to happen later this year, but being able to invite them in to our podcast, our world, have them share what they're passionate about, and let me grow in a fandom that I was kind of tangential to where now I understand more of it and can have some of those higher level debates that I wasn't able to have before. I absolutely love that about what we're doing with this podcast. And we're going to do more of that this season. We're already, heck, in a couple weeks, we're getting together with Andy and Jackson to sit down and say, okay, what are episodes? We have to do it right because we did episodes 4, 5, and 6. So now we have to go back and do episodes 1, 2, and 3. What are those going to be? And then how are we going to go from what we did? Because spoiler alert, and I know they listen, they were not happy that some of the things I thought we were going to talk about in 4, 5, and 6 did not get talked about in 4, 5, and 6. So we're probably going to circle back to some of those things as well. They're going to come with all the ideas, and I absolutely love that. So we are looking forward to all of that, and that still brings me joy. The conversations with Theron and James and that kind of thing are some of my favorite conversations that we've had. We have some ideas for some additional guests this year, but I want us to be careful too that I don't want us chasing guests. And we'll get into that with my next question. But I want those to be organic, and I want them to be things we're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want a guest on just to have a guest on. I want to make sure they fit our vibe. I want to make sure they fit what we're trying to do, and they fit something that our audience is going to want to listen to.
Right.
But those conversations really do bring me joy.
Yes.
What about from a Disney parks? We've gone a lot in the last 2 years.
We have.
What still brings you joy from a parks perspective?
So I will say probably my favorite thing at the parks. Well, okay, 2 things. The ambient music and background that follows you throughout the park.
Mm-hmm.
And interacting with cast members.
Yeah, I was going to say the cast members. I look back at the last 2 years of trips that we've taken. We've been 3 times in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That the things that I recall the most are some of our interactions with cast members.
Mm-hmm.
And good and bad interactions
Yeah.
with cast members are things that I remember.
Yeah.
But even the good and the bad, I'm still at Disney. That brings me joy.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I can be like, I caught him in something operational does my operation heart sort of good. But
Like they're not perfect. Okay.
right, exactly, exactly. They really, the cast members really do make the magic.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if I dream about a guest that we're going to have this year, I don't know that we'll be able to get a current cast member on because I don't think they're allowed contractually.
I think, I don't know that they're not allowed. I know that they have to do some pretty strong disclaimers, like they don't represent the brand or the
Right.
company, but here's my experience.
Right.
And there has to be sort of different ways of speaking about things. But I mean, I would love to speak to a cast member.
Yeah. Like I would love to get a friends with someone
Mm-hmm.
on, just talk about their experience, what guests are like, best guest interactions, that kind of thing.
Maybe we should reach out to Harriet.
We could see if she's available. And then I at my day job, I happen to know somebody who was friends with Tiana.
Mm-hmm.
So I might reach out to her and see if she would be willing to come on. But again, we're not going to, it's going to be organic. We're going to make sure we have a good, decent conversation to have, not just do it to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would also like to have another conversation with Chuck from Chuck's Cantina.
yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
For sure. And then, because we did one for his show too, right?
We did.
Yeah. So we did a swap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so last question, and we're kind of hinting around that. What are some things that we're not chasing anymore?
Not that we ever were really trying to become influencers with this at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're chasing listens anymore.
Yep.
And maybe we never were, but it just feels to me like we're kind of settling into this. This is our thing. It is what it is. Listen, don't listen. Pass it on, don't pass it on. We're not trying to go viral.
Yep.
If we do, super.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yep. 100% agreed with that. That's the one thing that I was going to call out too, is we're not chasing fame. Again, I don't know that we ever were. I think there were some grandiose, let's do this. There's a lot of room in this space. A lot of people love this space, so a lot of people will listen. We might get something from it. No. I'm here for fun. The minute this stops being fun and feels like work, I'm out. That's where I'm at this point. This is still a lot of fun. Candace and I get to sit down and spend a couple hours when we record just talking about something we love talking about. It's just a joy and a place for us to connect. I'm not chasing social media fame. I'm not chasing 1 million downloads. If we stick at 100 downloads for an episode, great. If we get 1,000, fantastic. We're just here having fun no matter what. I'm also done chasing the biggest and best equipment, thinking that's going to make a difference.
I think I'm perfectly happy with what we have, and it does well.
Yeah, it does.
Now, that's not to say that because we do need to buy new mics for when we're out and about.
Yeah.
But that's a separate discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Okay, so that's kind of our season reset. Welcome to season 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're at. That's who we are. Again, unapologetically, Scott and Candace from Hanging at the Hangar Bar. We are always happy to have you listening. We love you all. We would love for you to be even more engaged with our social media and that kind of stuff just because we love the conversation with you. We're not trying to drive anything other than conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So come out, find us on our social medias, say hi, post your favorite Disney GIF, whatever you want to do just to let us know you're out there. And
right. And I do want to throw this in there just because of some of the other experiences that I've had with other like social media communities that I've been part of over the past year or so. When you're part of the Hangar Bar community and the Hangar Bar crew, we genuinely love having you with us. We're not just, again, we're not chasing clicks. We're not chasing views. We're not chasing any of that. It's just, we want you to be a part of this community.
right.
When you interact with us on social media, it's not a bot. It is us. And we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear your take on different things. If we express a specifically salty opinion about something and you don't agree with it or you do agree with it, let us know. Let's talk about it. We love that conversation. And if there's something that you want us to talk about during an episode, let us know that too.
Yep.
But we want you to be part of this community, and we want you to feel welcome and cared for and all the touchy-feely, fuzzy, warm things that can possibly come out of an online community. We want you to be part of that because it is genuine. It's not anything other than that.
Yep. Yep, 100%. So here's a question that I have for our audience. Our Facebook is set up as a podcast page, almost like a business. Would it be preferable to move that to a Facebook group instead of a page? Do you get what I'm saying?
I do.
So my question to the audience is, if we change platforms after 5 years, if we move from a podcast page to a group instead, would you follow us over there, and would that help you interact better? Because I worry that, like, if we're on a business page, that the algorithm doesn't feed it as much as groups get fed.
Right. And that
so
makes
people
sense.
might not be seeing it as much when we do post.
And I think it's a little bit easier to communicate as a group, in a group, rather than just posting on a page.
Right. So we're thinking about that. Let us know what your opinions are.
If we do, we'll probably leave both up for a while, and then phase out the page. But let us know if that would be something that you'd be interested in, something that you would be willing to interact with and, have conversations and that kind of stuff. Maybe do virtual meet and greets. I don't know.
Yep.
We'll figure it out. Again, this is a constantly evolving situation.
Yeah, and while we do this for the conversations that we get to have, we want you to be a part of it, and your opinion matters.
Mm-hmm.
You matter.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. Okay, anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay, we're going to end the ones this season like we've ended every other season. Remember, there is always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
And we'll see you real soon.